So first, I made a video game that was about a card game. Now I'm making a card game where you need a video game to play it. Yeah, I'm losing it. How's it going, guys? Today's video is going to be about a application of a game that I had already made, which I'm kind of reversing my mechanic, and that's General Warfare, a card game. So before, the game was simulating a card game. So now what I'm doing with this evolution is actually combining a Gameboy game and a deck of cards. The game will also become a two-player game, so that was a big change from the single-player game of the video game. This will be a two-player game that will still follow the same principles from General Warfare, but will be slightly modified for two players. So today's video is going to cover what's new, what's updated with it, and talk briefly about some of the coding and different programming that I did between this and General Warfare. So this game will be called General Warfare Red vs. Black, going along with the playing card theme. The premise of the game is still the same. It is based on the war card game, but in this case you're going to need 3 piles of cards for each player. So there's a tutorial within the card, but in general the players are going to use their color card, of course, and their strength cards will be from 2 through 10. Their rank cards will be the face cards for that suit, and the battle class cards will be 4 cards from the other suit of that color. So the whole game runs through this main screen that you can see here, and the players need to keep score manually. But as the cards are flipped, the players will need to use these options on the screen to adjudicate their battles. So if the players match cards, that is an automatic war, which you will see here. So this is an example of one of the 4 war scenes in the game, which if you've already played General Warfare, you are already familiar with. They are air battle, a land battle, which actually takes place on a tabletop, a space battle, and also a sea battle, like I said, what you see here. So this is a battle. Each player will get a turn, and the one with the higher score will be assigned 3 victories within the main screen. So this follows the general premise of war right off the bat. If you match values, you will be entered into a war. So the game will tell you who wins, but you have to manually enter the score, which you see here. So just as in General Warfare, the loser has redemption against the winner. So if there's a mismatch in battle strength, the losing player has a chance to redeem themselves with 2 victories. The winning player will already get 1 victory based on their win in strength, but this is a chance for the losing army to make up ground. So they'll be involved in a shootout. Once again, each player will be having a turn in the shootout, and they will be competing in. There's actually 4 different types of shootouts, but there's about 10 different shootouts you can get into. So this is the battleship scene. There's a submarine. There's various ranges for firearms you can pick for the army, and those are all assigned on a random basis. But anyway, whoever wins the shootout will actually eliminate the other team's victory, so that will zero out the other team. Even though they have lost, it is a chance for the losing player to redeem themselves. For the strike mission, once again, if the ranks do not match, you will flip over your class cards to see if the losing player can have a strike mission. So that will be finding the enemy's headquarters, and only the losing army will get that opportunity. So those are the ways to score points here, and basically play continues until one player hits 14 victories, which will make them the winner of the war. So as you can see here, once you hit 14, you are the victorious general. So I'd like to real briefly talk about the coding for this game. So I really did not have to do a whole lot. I used the General Warfare GB Studio file to create this 2-player setup. I had to add some scenes and variables to the game, but it was really quite easy. It had to do with copy and pasting, really. But the main thing I had to do was create a new dependency between the scenes, as I wanted to have a main screen for the players to have while they were flipping cards, and just to make sure all the change scenes fed off of that main scene that I had. So I wanted to make sure everything changed scenes the way I wanted it to, and like I said, I had to make some new variables, which you can see me doing here for the different scores of the game. So I started developing or changing up the game about a week ago when I got this idea, and it really came together quite quickly, as I already had a lot of the technical things done with it. Here, what you can see I'm doing is creating that main scene to see what would work, what would fit with the tiles and everything like that. But really, this came together really quickly, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. So what I'm looking for in this video is just feedback. So I want to know if this is some kind of weird idea or something that is something that you would play, or something that you might play with a friend. It's really pretty quick. I think a round might only take a few minutes, but you could set up a few rounds or maybe a tournament of some sort with it. But I'm just looking for feedback. So the game is posted to itch.io for playing that. So I guess you could do it 2 different ways. If you wanted to load it on a ROM and put it on your retro handheld to have out during your card game, or you could probably run it on your phone or even your computer, I guess. But you're going to have to pass it back and forth, so I'll probably recommend phone or handheld. So the product that's up on itch.io is not totally polished and finished. I already see some things I could improve upon right away, but I kind of wanted to get this out, try something different, and get out a product that I think is somewhat interesting and not fully completed, but pair it up with the YouTube video to explain the rules and explain how I came up with the idea. So I wanted to do that with this video. So definitely let me know what you think, guys. I'm definitely open to feedback, and looking forward to everyone trying out this game in the near future. Thanks, guys, and thanks for watching.